What is good? What is good? Happy Tuesday, everybody, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Now or later. Man, I'm so excited. It's somebody that I've personally known, man, since middle school, a long time
Yeah.
ago, before City Boy Summer, you
Yeah, we was at Clark,
know.
man, in middle school,
Man,
man. Not trying to
what?
figure out, run around, man. Not even knowing what we're about to be doing as adults. Yeah, we've been knowing each other for a minute, man.
But yeah, so senior software developer, man. I'm gonna sit back, give him the mic. I'm gonna let him introduce himself, and then I got a few questions. If anybody in the chat got any questions, feel free to drop through. But I appreciate y'all. Thanks for coming by. All right, man. So, Ant, who are you, man?
Aw- Awesome, awesome. Well, first, man, before I even dive into like going into my background, man, I just want to say, Alante, man, thank you for bringing me up on the show. What you're doing is very dope, bringing awareness to the tech space for people who want to get in tech, and it's dope having people, that actually come on here and provide their insights so that people can break into tech because tech is taking over the world, man. And everybody in here can actually get in tech and make some impact. So really appreciate that, man.
Hey, man, that's all you.
But cool. So for y'all who up on the video, I'm Anthony Washington. Again, I'm from Mobile, Alabama, Tuskegee University graduate. I'm currently a senior software engineer who's been professionally coding for 5 years now, which is insane to say because time passes by very, very fast. Over my 5 years career, I've gained experience in various spaces from mobile development to cloud computing. And now I've been working in the IoT space for 2 years. For those who don't know what IoT is, that stands for Internet of Things. So any type of cloud connected devices, such as like Alexa or Siri, just for some examples. My current role now, I'm working at a small startup of 17 people called Hyphen. And what we're actually doing, we're building an autonomous robotic make line to automate food preparation. So we're probably going to get into it a little bit later, but just to give you like a high level idea of what that actually means, imagine going to Chipotle and ordering you a burrito bowl. And instead of the workers actually assembling your bowl, imagine a robot actually automatically preparing it for you. And so that's currently what we're building, and it's super, super dope. And I'm a full stack developer where I'm building the front end features, the back end features, like all that type of stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it, me, man. Outside of coding stuff, I like plants now, which is pretty cool.
That's what's up. How many? You got a few of them?
Yeah, I got 3 plants this weekend actually, man. So I'm a plant dad now,
Let
man.
me
So
ask you,
it's
did
pretty
you
cool.
name them yet? I just got one like a
Yeah,
month ago. What you name them?
yeah. So my elephant ear name is called Peace,
Okay.
and I have two succulents. They're called Organic and Matcha. So yeah, I have 3 plants, man. They're pretty cool, man.
That's
But
up. All right, so I'm dive a little back into the tech space for a minute. So, at what point did you know that tech was for you? Like, what was the deciding factor in your life?
yeah, so I honestly come from a like non-traditional
Hey,
background.
hey, let me interrupt you real quick. Trent said, "What's his favorite plant?" He said, "What's your favorite plant?"
uh, Trent, funny. So my favorite one is an elephant ear plant, which is the one that I actually got, and his name is Peace. Man, I love those elephant ears because they're huge, man, and they
Yeah,
can like grow very, very big.
that's dope. Oh, handsome diary said, "Hey, what's up, man? Appreciate you for stopping by." All right, my bad, bro. Sorry about that.
Oh yeah, oh, no worries, man. We got to interact with the
You feel?
chat, man. But so how did I actually, break into tech and knew that tech was for me? So I come from a non-traditional background. Like I had nobody in my family in tech at all. Coming from a small city of Mobile, we really didn't even really know about tech like that for real, for real. It was more of like go work at a shipyard or just work up on the boat type of things.
Mm-hmm.
But growing up as a kid, I've always been a nerd. Like I was into gaming. I was into iPhones when the iPhones came out. Like I was a person who was jailbreaking iPhones and
Yeah.
fixing everyone iPhone. And then I was into MySpace too. Like, from MySpace, when you were customizing your actual profile, I was the one trying to figure out how to actually hide my top friends, how to have the best layout. And so little did I know, I was actually doing something called programming. But, we didn't know. I was just
Thanks.
copying and pasting some stuff I seen on the internet. And so in high school, so I attended Viger High School, as you know. And at Viger High School, I had a professor named Mr. Large. And Mr. Large, he seen something in me and Donald Craig. You know
Hey,
Donald
yeah.
Alante. Yeah, so me and Donald were Mr. Large students that he taught a lot of IT troubleshooting to. So he
Dang.
taught us how to make Ethernet cables, how to set up wireless networks.
Dang.
Like we were literally doing all that on campus. Like
That's
it was pretty
dope.
cool.
Yeah.
And so like honestly, we was using it as an excuse to skip class, to be honest with you. But
Hey
but
Sam,
from
appreciate the
there,
like. Sorry.
but yeah, no worries, man. But from there, getting exposure to like IT troubleshooting, that exposed me to a whole new realm. And so I was like, okay, I want to go off to college and actually learn a little bit more about IT troubleshooting.
Yeah.
So I enrolled in Tuskegee University, a computer science major, and that's when my first class literally was programming, where I was re-exposed to the things I was coding on MySpace, but I actually knew the technical term for it.
Mm.
And so once I got into creating an actual about me page doing HTML and CSS in my first computer science class, that's when I knew like, hey, I like actually writing instructions for code.
That's
So I really didn't know I was going to be programming. It just happened, man. And I actually love it, man. I love it a whole lot.
That's fine. Eddie, appreciate the like. And now you said you've been coding professionally for 5 years.
Hmm.
So, like, in that tenure, I know you've worked for a couple of big names, and tell me about some of your favorite jobs, like coming up.
Yeah. So Um, some companies I've worked at to kind of give some people context threw up on the chat, but I started off my career at Intel. So at Intel, I was working at Intel for 3 years. I worked on various projects. I started out working on a open source infrastructure as a service product, where imagine Amazon but for open source.
Mm.
And then I started working on this web portal to provision databases. So a portal that you can go in and create databases in the cloud. And then I transitioned to Samsara, which is a IoT logistic platform where imagine pitting devices in fleet vehicles and you're able to track your drivers in real time, see where
Mm.
they're at. Drivers can submit documents that describe like, when they're delivering things. And now I'm at Hyphen.
Nice.
I love Hyphen right now. I love what we're doing. But if I had to pinpoint, my favorite job right now, I would say Samsara.
Mm.
Because at Samsara, it exposed me to a whole different realm of work, which is logistic operations.
Mm.
Like it's a lot that goes into drivers being able to deliver your package to your actual home, or drivers being able to be up in the electricity field, to
Mm.
actually cut your power on and things like that. And so at Samsara, I learned a lot about the logistics space. I learned a lot about, modern technologies such as React, GraphQL, how to actually deploy scalable applications. I
Nice.
went on site, to actually see how customers are using our platform. So it really gave me exposure to like customers really using our product. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
that was very, very, very new to me. At Hyphen, we're planning on doing the same thing. But to your question, if I can say, what was my favorite job, I would say Samsara because it really showed me what customer obsession is.
Mm. That's dope. Well, since we're on the topic of hyphen, if you want to continue with that, we all is. So
Yeah. So
yeah, how's
you
that
kind of
going?
curious about
Yeah.
like.
So I'm curious. I'm aware of what an autonomous robot would do, but tell me like what
Mhm.
goes into that. And then even more so, like what does that look like for the future? With talk of the metaverse come out, what is what you doing or what you got plans going on, seeking all that. Like I see you setting up for a spot in the future. So what do you see yourself? It's starting with that now, but I know you
Mhm.
got some stuff cooking up. So just talk to me about like what keeps you fueled, what you know.
Hmm. Yeah, so at Hyphen, like I mentioned, we're building this autonomous robotic make line. So for people who don't know what like autonomous robot means, that means a robot that's able to operate without humans interacting with it. So let me think of an example. Um, what's a good example of like a robotic example? Okay, so
Like a
Amazon. So if you think about Amazon, if you all have never like seen the Amazon warehouse has like these robotic little
like the
circle things.
Roombas.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
they're
but
able
yeah,
to just ride around. You know what I mean? They're able to ride around and just, identify where the thing that you ordered is at based on like some type of mapping. That's an example of like autonomous robot. Another example of an autonomous robot is like a make line that assembles Coca-Colas. So just imagine at a Coca-Cola factory, they need to assemble 1,000 Cokes probably in a minute or something. So they built a fully automatic robot that can do things such as carry the bottle to its station, dispense the actual Coke into the bottle, seal the cap, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what autonomous robotic means. So at Hyphen, what we're doing, we're taking that same approach of building something autonomous, but for food preparation. And so with the pandemic happening, as you can imagine, a lot of food operations needed to scale out their business to support mobile orders because a lot of people weren't going out to places. And so with our technology, we are saying that we can produce 350 bowls. So we're focused on
Wow.
bowl style foods right now. So with our make line, we are promising we can produce 350 bowls per hour. So just imagine a place like Chick-fil-A that gets a lot of throughput through like lunch hours, et cetera, et cetera. Having a machine that can output that many bowls in an hour is going to increase their, revenue opportunities. It's going to increase their output, get people in and out, so more revenue can come in. And on top of, I'm just thinking from a standpoint of foot traffic.
Yeah.
We're not even talking about the mobile orders that are coming in through your platforms like DoorDash, like Uber Eats. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And so our technology, like that kind of explains a little bit, but the kind of workflow that our technology does, the order is going to come in through a POS system, so a point of sale system, such as like DoorDash, Uber Eats, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So it's going to come through a point of sale system. It's going to go through our system where we analyze the actual order, identify what this customer just ordered based on data that's mapped in our system, such as the recipes, the ingredients. And we're going to take that information, assemble something called an assembly plan, and send that assembly plan to our hardware machine. And our hardware machine is going to take those instructions and say, hey, at this module, I need to dispense some rice. And it's going to ride an assembly belt and say, hey, okay, now I got the rice. Now let me go to the chicken. Now disassemble the chicken. And then it's going to go through that whole process. And then at the end, it's going to lift up. And then somebody who works at Chipotle, using them as an example, they're going to be able to take their bowl and just put it in an actual bag and give it to a customer. So literally removing the whole entire assembly worker process and just letting a robot do it.
Man, that's poof. That's super
Yeah,
dope.
it's next level, man. I'm gonna
It
tell
is.
you, like,
Golly.
like I honestly, man, and to even kind of get up on like the power of relationships. So I honestly didn't even knew this was something that people were doing. At Samsara, my manager, he reached out to me and was like, "Hey, do you want to come help build something from the ground up?" And I was like, that sounds scary. I never done nothing like that before, but sure, why
Yeah.
not? And so now we're in this process of now. And so that's how I found this actual role. But I
Golly.
say that to say, it's powerful to have, relationships with people in the industry that you work in, because a lot of my opportunities have come from people that I actually built relationship with, not just me, out there finding roles myself, but having actual relationships with people throughout my tech journey.
Yeah.
So I really advocate for people to to get to know people and meet people and just be genuine and help each other out and make an impact in the situation that you're actually in.
Man, hey, that's definitely a good way to live, man. The Toxic Guy said I love Tech Tuesdays. Appreciate you, man. Don't watch Gaming Tech Tuesday, man. The Toxic God, I look forward to Tech Tuesdays every week. Thank you, bro.
Nice,
That's
nice.
my guy right there. I appreciate the likes too, man. I hope y'all doing all right. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
I'm the guys,
Yeah, and
but
tell and for the chat too, man. Like, if you got any questions, like, feel free to just drop them for me. Like, I don't
yeah,
mind. I can go as deep as we have time for, but like, I'm open for all type of questions, man. Like, it doesn't even have to be related to hyphen. Like, how you can get in tech or anything. Like,
yeah.
I'm here for that.
So, what would you recommend? The plan is everything. So, what would you, Derek, Sean? Hey, how you doing? Um, what would you recommend to somebody that's wanting to get in programming right now, though? Somebody no experience in tech, no nothing. They're just saying, "Hey, man, I want to do what you do. I want to get to where you get." What's your recommendation?
Yeah. So I would say one of the things that I would recommend someone to do is like, if they have no experience programming at all, I think one of the most important thing when it comes to coding is that try to identify some type of relatability up in it to keep you actually passionate about it. Because as we know, coding is daunting. It can be intimidating. It can be scary, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And so for someone who has never coded before, I recommend that they, buy a Udemy course or follow a YouTube course that teaches them front end development. And the reason I say front end development because it's going to allow you to get that real time feedback as you're coding how the app actually looks.
Yeah.
And that is going to keep you like engaged. So just imagine if you're taking a course that's teaching you how to build a website for shoes. If you're a person who's passionate about shoes, seeing that you're building a website that's focused on shoes is going to keep you engaged. It's going to make you want to actually learn more and dive deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And so I recommend for someone who has never coded before to get a Udemy course or follow a YouTube course that's teaching you front end development, so you can see the presentation layer of how things work. And then from there, you can navigate if you want to stay on a front end path or if you want to go to the back end path, which is the back end is responsible for data processing and sending the information to the front end. Or if you want to do mobile development, right? Like I taught myself iOS development just because I wanted to build an app for Tuskegee. Like if you want to do iOS development, like take a course on iOS development and you can build mobile apps. Like it's a ton of resources out there to actually help you. But that's what I recommend, man, because I really wish I knew which path to take early on in my career.
Yeah, but
Because
man,
I would have dived into that.
and what do you think you would have dove into?
Oh, front end.
Front
Front
end,
end.
straight
So
up.
yeah. So now on my current team, I'm full stack developer. So I do the front end and the actual back end.
Yeah.
But I have a passion about the front end space and building reusable React components that are connected to GraphQL. Like I love that. Like I love defining the user experience. Like I
Yeah.
even love designing in Figma myself on the side, like creating like UI mockups on the side.
Okay.
But if I knew earlier, man, I would have been hands on in the front end space. But I would say through my career, going through the different phases of working in cloud, for doing back end, for working in front end, it gave me exposure to how these pieces work together, and for
100%.
me to identify what I actually don't like that much. You know what I mean?
I agree. That's important too, because you don't have that what if. Now you back around to what you're doing. You excel and you, so to say, a master at your craft in it, and you have the focus of what you want to do. It ain't no more questioning. So
Yeah, man, the tech space is huge too, man. Like,
facts. Yeah, I'm
man,
up on the cybersecurity side of things.
yeah, yeah, and like that side, man, like I
It's
have
huge
no
within
idea
itself.
about it.
Man, I
Yeah.
just. Ugh.
How you like cybersecurity, man?
I
Like, give
love
me some
it,
more about how
bro.
you like
So to be honest, like I just got there from a desktop position like a few months back, and while I was in the desktop position, I went and got a few certifications. One being network, one being one for my network, one being one for security. And at first, when I was doing the network, and I was just chasing the networking title, like man, I see how much bread they made. That's what I want to do, and it's just so bland. And my thing, and I just didn't see myself. Shout out to Eddie. I'm so sorry. My God, I'm sorry. He's a network engineer. But but for me with security, it's like it encompasses a little bit of everything, and that's kind of how I like to learn. Like I may be interested in this one day, and then work on it 2-3 months, and then want to learn something else. And like with cybersecurity, with emerging threats, with things that's gonna come out every day, you get to stay fresh, you get to stay up to date, and then you think about it, man. You see the people hacking on the computer, like come on now,
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get the actual,
Yeah. I mean,
so.
even in the security space right now, man, like with us having these apps out here that are processing millions and millions of requests, like you have people who are trying to hack and steal customer information. So you being in the cybersecurity space, like that's going to create everlasting opportunities for you, and it's going to expose you to interesting problems. And even with crypto coming now, right, with us building
Right.
decentralized apps, like learning the sectors of like what is it, cryptography, I think that's the name.
Just how.
Yeah, like see that lets you know. I don't know too much about the security stuff, man, but security is definitely a top priority thing that we have to think about when it comes to
Facts.
building applications and personal information, right? Like what our information are people giving these applications access to? So
Exactly.
I'm happy to hear, man, that you know that
Yeah.
you are very passionate about security side of things because I'm pretty sure it has its funds up in it, man. I'm pretty
Without a
sure it
doubt,
does.
yeah. Like, and there's some things just because I'm still adjusting to the role that I'm not still privileged to speak about just yet. Just in ins and out. But man, it's the things you're privy to be able to put together on a granular level. It's not like you got a snapshot of anything, but going through logs and putting together a story of the data and being able to see when
Hmm.
something got compromised. Man, it's just.
Hmm. Man, we had man. Speaking, just thinking now, we had some people trying to. So at our startup, like they had somebody sending our entire team phishing text messages and phishing emails portraying like they're our CEO. And we were like, man, this is not who. Like, I can literally write the CEO. Like, why would you send me a text message or email? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
you were
like it
good.
was just super
You were
crazy.
good. You were well informed.
But man, for people out there, like if someone sends you a random link, do not click it. Please do not click it
This
because
man doing my job for me. Keep going. Keep going.
like because man, there's people out here, man, who are really stealing your personal information and using that information. Like, please do not click those random links that you get or any emails that say like I'm a person in whatever country. I need you to send me some money. Like, don't fall for that stuff, man.
Right.
Do not fall for that stuff. But yeah,
Man.
man, that's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. I might have to hit you up about some security stuff when I
Oh,
start building these apps, man.
sign,
Because
man.
I'm telling you, because I don't know none of that stuff, man.
We'll definitely link up on it. Well, man, let me see. Let me ask you
But
something else.
also,
What?
also too, though, man. Not to cut you
Go
off, bro,
ahead.
but
Go ahead.
this is just something like I think for people who are trying to break into tech is that be comfortable knowing that you're not going to know everything, right? Like I'm
Mm.
literally telling Alante, like I don't know security stuff, and that's totally fine.
And
Like
and I'm
you
having to
can
learn
still,
programming and
you
development.
get what I
I'm
mean?
exactly two sides.
Yeah, so it's like you can still provide a lot of impact at these tech companies without being professional. I mean, not professional, but without being proficient in a certain area.
Yeah.
Like for example, like I would say when you're in tech, identify your niche and become an expert at that, but be aware, have a little idea about how other areas of the tech stack work. So for example, like I'm proficient in front end stuff, but I have awareness about back end stuff. But that still makes me proficient at my job because I can still do both. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like when it comes to all this tech stuff, it's so many different topics and things that you have to learn. Like it's okay that you don't know a certain thing. You're still going to be able to be proficient at what you do.
That's great advice, especially breaking into it because you're gonna deal with a lot of people throwing big words at you that you might not be comfortable with. A lot of new things starting off, and it's until you get a feel for it, especially if you have no working knowledge, it can be intimidating. So,
Hmm.
man,
Yeah.
that's definitely
Yeah.
true.
Yeah,
What?
I've dealt with that too, man. All that stuff, imposter syndrome, intimidation, all that stuff, man.
Hey,
Yeah, it's a part of the journey, man. It's a part of growing, honestly.
so what would you give people with speaking of like your role specifically, like interview advice for somebody breaking in and say, hey man, I don't quit my job, I don't spent the last 6 months saving up, taking these classes, got these projects built. Like, how do I get into the
Hmm.
door? What do I need to do?
So are you asking about like are they interviewing for a software engineering position or
Yeah, yep. They're trying to get their
okay.
foot in with no experience.
Okay. So, for a software engineering position itself, so we have things like, so as you all know, there are like different levels of software engineering. And for someone who just like maybe graduated from a boot camp or have no experience, you are going to interview for something they call what is the word? I just lost the freaking train of word on my mind.
Internship
Uh,
or like,
not like an internship, but like level one. I'm just gonna say level one, apprenticeship
oh,
kind of
apprenticeship.
role.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, an apprenticeship type of role. And so with an apprenticeship type of role, with any type of software engineering interview, honestly, the core thing that we look for is people who understand basic data structures and algorithms. And so when it comes to data structure and algorithms, these are significant things in our development world because it allows us to store and access data in the fastest way possible. So just imagine, just using Facebook as an example, if you have 5 million friends on Facebook, if you want to search for one of your favorite people, Facebook needs to be able to provide you that person's page as fast as possible in less than 1 second. And they're able to do that because of things like data structures and algorithms. And so as someone who's trying to break into tech and going through the interview process, I recommend understanding the basic fundamentals of data structures and algorithms and working with them, and then being comfortable articulating why use this great data structure over this data structure and why use this algorithm over this algorithm. And of course, practice. Like, it was a point of time in my career when I was at Intel. I was trying to leave Intel. I did over 300 interviews, was rejected a whole lot.
Jeez.
But doing all those interviews, I was practicing data structures and algorithms literally every day from soon as I got off work to like 11 at night. And so constantly practicing, constantly doing questions, constantly doing interviews, because proper preparation prevents poor performance. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And so by practicing all the time, you're going to get good at data structure and algorithms and articulating it to interviewers. So that's what I recommend, man. And don't be afraid to fail, man. Like I just told you, like I failed over 300 interviews, bro. Like
you just said like it was slight work too.
yeah,
like I let you slide past it. I was sure like that. Do you want to talk about that? No, but that's that just goes to show.
It was tough, man. It was tough though. Like I don't want to sit here and portray like I didn't go through no emotions or anything.
Facts.
Like, I went through a lot of emotions, and it took a lot of focus and determination to get through all those emotions of like wanting to give up, imposter syndrome. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know freaking tech. I need to get out of tech. Right?
And you in tech. You're literally in tech, working at Intel, going through 300 interviews.
You know what I'm saying?
So we're trying to make sure chat hear me.
So that just shows that like, you're gonna experience some adversity in your life though, man. You know what I mean? Like even outside of just tech, right? Like you're gonna experience some type of adversity in your life, and how you persist through that, like that's when real champions are made. Because honestly, if I had to do it all over, this may sound crazy, but I'd do it again, because it taught me a lot of mental toughness about myself and how to get through, those down phases that we're facing in life.
Yeah, man, I be seeing you running 5 miles and stuff. You definitely got some discipline built up somewhere. Cause boy, Lord, make me feel bad about myself. I gotta get to it, man. So you want to talk about how does the running, how does that factor into like the things you do on your day to day? How does that impact you?
Yeah, man, it's crazy that I actually enjoy it. Because at a point of time, man, I'm telling you, man, at a point in time, I hated working out, period. Like, I didn't want to lift weights. Yeah. And I was an athlete, in middle school and high school, but I hated lifting weights. I hated sweating. I hated all that stuff. And so for me to actually, enjoy it now, it's kind of insane. But how I got into it, so I'm fully remote software engineer. So I get to work, from anywhere I want to. And majority of my time, I'm just sitting at a desk. And I knew I needed to integrate something in my daily routine that can not only get me away from a desk where I'm sitting down all the time, but also prepare myself for longevity when I get older. And so that's when I started integrating like physical fitness to my routine. So like working out, man, and having friends is very important for accountability, because we started creating these Nike run challenges where we're like, hey, we're going to run 45 miles this month. That sounds insane even saying it, you know what I'm saying? But looking at an app, man, where it has people running miles, it makes you want to get up and stop being lazy and go do it yourself. And so, yeah, man, that's honestly how I got into it. And now it's like, I'm not going to say an addiction because that's a strong word, but I actually find fulfillment.
Yeah.
I find fulfillment running, man, because, man, honestly, bro, to be 100 with you too, like, when I'm running, bro, that's when I discover my best ideas. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I think, like, it's just me, this treadmill, and I can build up not confidence, but mental toughness.
Yeah.
Because on that treadmill, bro, like, you're going to want to give up, right? Like, I don't want to run anymore. But pushing yourself to keep going when your favorite Money Man song or Future song come on, like, you're going to be like, bro, I can get through anything. You know what I mean? So it's another form of, like, mental toughness that, working out builds.
Man, yeah, 'cause it's my second month being at home, and I went up a pant size, so I was like, boy, it's
Yeah.
time. It's time. I was like, it is time. It's time. So,
Hey, that's how I be, man. You be sitting at that desk, bro. You like,
boy,
oh, let me go to the kitchen and fix something real quick.
right?
You
I'm
know what I'm saying?
right here. But look,
Hey,
man,
man, if you want to work out, man, listen. Hey, I can start a challenge, man, and we can start working
I'm
out,
gonna
bro.
start small, and I hit you up at the top of the year. I already got plans. I'm gonna start small.
All
I got a
right.
little route picked out. But look, we're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna need you to come back. We're gonna
Okay.
dive into some topics. We're gonna see what's going on.
Oh yeah, for
Chat.
sure, man.
Appreciate y'all for coming through. Yeah, second that question. So proud of you, son. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Man. So what we'll do is we'll throw this up on YouTube tomorrow. I'm
Okay.
gonna make sure I throw in the description. I have the links out to your site, to your social media handles. Well, your site got it out. We're gonna make sure we get everything out right. But
Okay.
man, thank you for coming by. Hey, chat. We was